Okay, guys, so we're here to do the wrestling review. I apologize. I've had a enormously horrendous, horrible week, and it's just been affecting me. Plus, I'm coming down with a cold or something, so I apologize. So let's get into WrestleMania and what I thought. Um, I thought this WrestleMania was much different. I thought it was a little bit more different in the sense of the story, um, and plus the organization of what was going on. Um, Not to mention that there was an altercation backstage between two talents and the McMahon family. Um, the first one that we're going to be talking about is obviously the Lesnar situation. Brock Lesnar did get very angry with Vince McMahon backstage, um, because Lesnar honestly thought he was going to retain the championship going into the Saudi Arabia show and defending it against Roman Reigns. That was not the case. When Lesnar showed up to WrestleMania, he was informed by the McMahons and Creative that he would be losing that match, and the match would actually be taking place first, because of the triple threat women's match later on. Lesnar was extremely upset, um, after the match was over with. Even verbal altercations. Hearing a physical altercation where he actually threw something at Vince McMahon. So it sounds like what's happening in this situation is Lesnar might be officially gone from WWE, going forward. He might end up not being able to come back because of this altercation. The other thing that happened at WrestleMania backstage that a lot of people are talking about is obviously the altercation with Sasha Banks and how she feels about her and Bayley losing the tag team championships at WrestleMania. I'm hearing that she was very upset with the situation, almost to that point of after WrestleMania, she was considering quitting WWE, and then the WWE has basically said, okay, have some time to think about your decision here because we want you to stay, but if you want to leave, we're not going to hold you to this, contract negotiation situation. If you want to leave, you can leave. But her and Bayley were very upset with the situation because they thought that they were going to be able to retain the belts going forward into, the Saudi Arabia show and obviously Money in the Bank and a few other pay-per-views coming up. So that's the altercation issue. Um, there's also negotiations with Rhino right now. We don't really know if he's even on the roster. He might be a free agent at this point in time. We're not really sure. Um, what did I think about WrestleMania? I thought WrestleMania was a pretty good show, honestly, considering no Undertaker. However, Undertaker is under contract now, though. He has signed a brand new contract where he is going to be with the company for another 4.5 years. So we will get an opportunity maybe to have one last Undertaker match at a Mania next year. I was kind of disappointed that Undertaker was not at WrestleMania this year, but we might get the Sting versus Undertaker match next year, and I'm okay with that. The Batista match against Triple H, I thought was a solid match for both parties. I was a little disappointed that the match did not last a little longer than what we were honestly expecting. Um, but Batista officially announced his retirement from the company, so he is now an official retirement. So he will not be doing in-ring performing or anything like that now. Um, we saw pretty decent tag team matches in WrestleMania. I was pretty impressed, honestly. Beth Phoenix looked amazing in the women's tag team match. Um, I'm glad that we have a new Universal Champion in Seth Rollins. The Intercontinental Championship match I thought was pretty good. Um, I was very impressed with the tag team SmackDown match. I thought all tag teams did a wonderful job from SmackDown in that match. Again, the Usos retain, um, but later on after that Tuesday night, that week. They lost the championships to the Hardys. So, eh, you know, whatever. Um, Becky Lynch is officially the women's champion and the SmackDown champion now for the women's division. I thought that match was really good. I also heard a rumor that during that match that there was a huge botch at the end of the match with the referee, and he was actually fired for that. Vince has fired a lot of people, guys, this week. Road Dogg, Badass Billy Gunn, the referees, some of the other people in creative. Vince has been going on a tear, just like firing lots of people, and I don't understand what's going on with Vince's mind here. Um, so Roman Reigns' match against McIntyre, I thought was a good match too. Um, the Under the Giant Battle Royal, Braun Strowman obviously was gonna win no matter what. Let's be honest with it. Uh, and then the Women's Battle Royal, I think was it Carmella won? Yes, Carmella won. I don't understand why they're burying Asuka. Maybe somebody can give me some pointers on this. I think this is a horrible decision by SmackDown to bury Asuka, a top talent that was a women's champion for your brand. I don't understand it. Tomorrow is the draft. Um, and so I think we're going to get some SmackDown superstars going to Raw and vice versa. NXT superstars coming over, possibly going to Raw or SmackDown. We don't really know right now. Um, so we'll move on from that. I thought Raw last week was a pretty decent show. SmackDown as well, I thought was a decent show. Kofi Kingston is SmackDown champion. I dig it. I love it. He deserves it. Good for the guy. The Samoa Joe thing with Rey Mysterio, I just don't think the match should have happened. I feel like, Samoa Joe deserves better competition right now. Let's be honest. I think that they need to shake up the rosters here. Um, Anthony Nese is your new cruiserweight champion. I think that's good for him. Oh yeah, in Raw, new tag team champions. Ryder and Hawkins are still your tag team champions. That's cool. I like it. Um, Let me think here. Okay, we're gonna move on to Impact. Um, United We Stand. Okay, here we go. Horrible, horrible stream. Like the stream was absolutely god awful. I mean, no, I'm not saying this is the wrestlers' fault. None of the wrestlers did anything wrong. It was promotion and the streaming part of it that was horrible because it kept cutting out. You couldn't hear the commentators. Don West, I don't know if he's involved with promotions of some of these shows anymore or not. I don't know. Again, Don Callis is, I know that, but I don't know if Don West is involved at all. But horrible, horrible streaming. I mean, it just kept cutting out, and sometimes it would skip past the content. Just not a very good showing. I mean, and that's not the talent's fault. Um, I am a little disappointed that you decided to fire Eli Drake. That is a really bad decision for Impact Wrestling. The guy was one of your top stars. He was just pointing out that he didn't want to wrestle a woman. And you guys kept forcing it on him to the point to where he said, well, if you continue doing this, I understand you made Disco wrestle, Scarlett, but I don't want to do this. I don't want to wrestle, Tessa Blanchard. That's who you're supposed to wrestle. And he basically voiced his opinion, and then you guys fire him, and now he's a free agent. I guarantee that either AEW is going to sign him, WWE was going to be contacting him, and let's not forget that he started in NXT, so he could go back to the WWE. And I think that that's going to be a huge slap in Impact's face. I know that they just signed Rob Van Dam. That's okay, and I'm fine with that. The guy's really talented. He's a multi-champion. I'm okay with that. That's fine. But when you let a talent like Eli Drake walk, that is a bad decision in your part, and I'm just saying it right now. You might pay for it later. Um, The same thing with Allie. They let Allie go too, and I don't understand that either. She's now in AEW. So, okay, let's talk a little bit about AEW. They've been signing up a lot of international talent, and they just signed two new talents actually from Evolve. Um, and I think that those are going to be huge stars, honestly, for the company. They also announced that their TV deal is officially set in stone. It is TBS. Tuesday Night Dynamite will premiere in October on TBS. So obviously, it's going to be competing against a WWE talk show. I think that's what Triple H said. Um, so AEW is doing a lot of things good in this situation. They're basically saying, okay, well, we're gonna actually have a live 2 hour wrestling program, then a talk show for fans to watch. Um, and they're talking about doing pay per view events on their website apparently later on. So that might actually help the situation as well. Um, so that's basically what's going on right now that I'm aware of. Um, Again, I apologize for not doing this video sooner. I've just been swamped with everything else going on in my life. And but I will be doing the Monday Night Raw review for the draft and SmackDown this week. Probably Wednesday, after I have time to watch both shows. Again, I'm sorry, I've just been under the weather. Things have been kind of hectic around here, and I apologize. But if you guys have any more information that I'm unaware of that you want to talk about regarding the wrestling, hit me up on YouTube. I also have a Facebook page as well, and I can give that information to you later on. I like to keep in touch with people. So, yeah.